And now, give a warm and a very strong applause for Taha, because we have, for the next 2 hours, startup pitches from around the globe. Please, a warm welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefan. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 Asia Berlin Startup Pitch Competition. Thank you all for joining us today for what is set to be a very exciting evening ahead of us. And allow me a short introduction before we begin. My name is Taha Adnan, and I come from Pakistan. I have a background in chemistry and material science, and I've been involved in the Berlin startup ecosystem for the last 2 years. Currently, I am the marketing manager and scouting lead at INAM, the Innovation Network for Advanced Materials. We are a Berlin-based association of companies, all with an interest in advanced materials and scientific tech. And yeah, throughout the year, we do a number of activities such as accelerators, incubators, and internationalization programs. Yeah, and if you're interested in anything that we do, please do come up to me after this is done, or visit our booth. It's booth number 15 if anyone is interested. But that's enough about me. It's time we get to the crown jewel of today's summit, the Startup Pitch Competition. So let me begin by introducing the honorable jury for this competition. First, we are honored to have Hendrik Remigero, founder of the Merantix AI Campus. He is joined by Rotem Blank-Imba, program director at German Accelerator. And last but not the least, we have Haris Rahman, who is an entrepreneur and a venture builder, as well as an Asia Berlin ambassador. Please join me in giving them a very warm welcome to all of our esteemed judges. Perfect. So let's begin with a little bit of housekeeping so that we can ensure a smooth running of the event. My role here on stage today is to introduce the startups as they come on, but also to keep time and to ensure that we stick to our time limits and don't run over. 14 incredible startups will be pitching here today.
Recording in progress.
With 3 minutes per startup for their pitching. And as a reminder, you will be penalized if you run over time. Each pitch will be followed by a short Q&A with questions from the jury. And once all of the startups have finished their pitches, the jury will retreat for deliberations and then decide the winner. And I would encourage you all to stay in the room because we will have a panel discussion while the jury discusses amongst themselves. And then we'll be immediately back on stage to announce the winner of this year's pitch competition. Now for the most important part, what are the prizes to be won? So the winner of the pitch competition as selected by the jury will receive a number of very incredible prizes. Firstly, the winning startup will have a fast-track ticket for the German Accelerator Academy. On top of this, they will also have the opportunity to join a delegation journey, courtesy of the Berlin Senate. And then finally, they will also get tickets worth over 1,000 euros to the Falling Walls conference happening later this year. So today, you're going to be hearing from some very inspirational founders working on building the products of the future. You'll see cutting-edge technologies from right here in Berlin and from all over the world. From mobility to green tech, material science to artificial intelligence, we've got something for everyone here today. I hope you enjoy the show ahead, and without any further ado, let's get started with our first startup of the day. In a world that is full of talent and creativity, there are countless obstacles that those who strive to make a difference come across. And it's in these moments where the leaders of tomorrow really need the guides of today to help them out and reach their goals. And that's exactly what our first startup of the day helps us with. They provide knowledge, guidance, and unwavering support to chart your own extraordinary course. Please welcome onto the stage Katja Kolmetz from Wavemakers.
Hi everyone, it's Katja from Wavemakers, and we believe that leadership is not a job title. In fact, there are so many talented young people out there that don't even want to be leaders anymore because they think a leader is a man in a suit that's shouting at people. And this is something, it's a quote actually from the Wavemakers community, so I didn't just make that up. In Germany alone, just 14% of employees want to be leaders. And that's a problem for all the companies out there that actually need that talent in the leadership positions. And they especially need the diverse talent in the leadership ranks, because globally the pressure is increasing to fill the leadership ranks with more diverse people. At Wavemakers, we are attacking that problem by democratizing access to leadership education. So that means we're taking what is typically just available for the top of the organization and making it available for everyone, regardless of their current job title. So we are already successfully doing that with the Wavemakers Academy. It's a 6-week online leadership program that we are running, so it's up and running. But our next step will be building the Wavemakers app to really have a product at scale that serves as a pocket coach for the entire organization. So here's an example. What exactly is this pocket coach doing? It's an AI-driven web and mobile application that is integrated into the everyday life of everyone in the organization to really identify their personal challenges, the real-life challenges. For example, Emily. So Emily is constantly being interrupted in meetings. So this is what we are detecting, and we call it microaggressions, and Wavemakers actually has a module about microaggressions, which is now directly added to Emily's learning path. Of course, there are a lot of competitors out there, especially the more traditional leadership trainings, which are seminars, face-to-face or online, small groups, rather expensive. And there's the e-learning, right, that is available to all, but it's also one size fits all. And Wavemakers, we really want to be the provider of leadership education at scale, but that caters to the very personalized needs of diverse people. And it's a huge market opportunity as well. So the leadership training market is 340 billion euros, and it's expected to continue to grow by up to 10% every year. And it's becoming increasingly digital. This is the amazing Wavemakers team that is pulling it off. So we have Gabriella, who is responsible for technology, Shalini for marketing, Vaida for product, Anya's running the academy, and I'm running the business. Together, we have already upskilled more than 2,000 professionals, and we have built a social media followership of 9,000 people, and also secured our first paying corporate customers. We also have an amazing board of advisors and mentors from leadership development and also from the technology side. And we are now looking for our first angel investor and a ton of different partners that help us create a big wave together. So join our mission of democratizing leadership education and make waves move mountains. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Katja. Over to the jury for questions.
Yeah, thank you so much for your pitch. My question would be, who is your ideal customer and who are you selling to in the organizations?
Yes, so it is primarily learning and development, but we are also building strong relationships with the diversity groups, diversity and inclusion, CSR, and also employer branding. So they can often be the door openers for us.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Katya. My question is, who is your biggest competitor? What are the, maybe if you can name a couple of them, and how do you differentiate yourself with them?
Yes, so on the one hand, it is the e-learning platforms like LinkedIn Learning, for example, that are also constantly evolving. And on the other hand, the established, more established companies that are offering traditional leadership training that are also trying to become more digital over time. So these are the two biggest groups.
And how do you differentiate yourself? Like, what is the competitive edge that you have over them?
Yes, so we are offering leadership development at scale, so something that can be rolled out across the organization, not just to the people who are in management positions today, but also the emerging talent that might not even see their own leadership potential yet. And at the same time, we are catering to the needs of this diverse talent by recognizing what their challenges are in an everyday work environment.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed the pitch. I think it's a very important topic. My question is about stickiness. So how do you ensure that the participant keep joining the courses, keep using the app?
Yeah, there we have an unfair advantage because we started out with the academy, right? So we started out really with a B2C approach where we are working very, very closely together with the users for more than 2 years now. So we really know their everyday life inside out and also which interventions we have to make in order to add value in their busy everyday life.
Okay, thank you. Maybe just a quick follow-up question. You mentioned that you know every aspect of their lives. Is that because you know them in person, or is there any tracking done through the app?
So at the moment, it is because of more personal touch points that we're having, but we're also collecting data from them about their challenges and also about their perceived challenges, and also using technology to, for example, enter their meetings to identify the real challenges and mapping that out.
Okay, thank you very much.
And so you are targeting people who want to be leaders, and your customer segment are the corporations. And so you're using different technologies. My question is, what's your defensibility? What if somebody else comes up with the same product, same offer, and targeting the same customer? How would you defend yourself?
So I think our main advantage is really the data that we started to collect in terms of what are the micro moments in our target group's everyday life and which learning paths actually positively impact their leadership experience. So this is something that we started to collect and we will continue collecting to really focus on the accuracy of the predictions also of the AI algorithm.
Perfect, thank you very much. Thank you, Katya. One more time for Wavemakers, everybody. So have you ever wondered how the latest technologies might help you build your dream house or the next branch of your office? Our next startup joining us all the way from my hometown of Lahore, Pakistan, has a technology exactly for that. Please welcome onto the virtual stage, Mohammed Bilal from Apna House. Hi Bilal, we can see you.
And now you can see my slides as well, right?
Yes, I can see your slides. And yep, you can go ahead. You have, sorry? Yeah, your time is starting now.
Okay, thank you. Hi, my name is Mohammed Bilal. I am the co-founder and CTO of Apna House. So when I say Apna House, the word Apna is a derivative of the word Urdu. And in Urdu, it means own, my ownership, my house. So when we talk about homes have a very specific meaning in our lives. Home is where dreams flourish, memories are woven. And in the embrace of a house, lives find comfort, hearts find solace, and that is where love finds its foundation. So why not help people build their own homes? That's what our mission of the company is. The problem that we are trying to identify and fix as of now is building a house is something very precious to us. It takes almost all lives of each one of us to have our own home because of high cost, high delivery time, and the information is very asymmetric. And construction is not that much optimized. So when you want a home, the first thing what you do is definitely you buy a land. But if it's not designed well, that's where the problem starts by. So the problem that we're identifying is the access to construction and architectural plans that are not available that easily or that readily. So if you look at the construction market, the worldwide market is currently sitting at $5 trillion as of now. And then the next coming years, next 5 years, is going to touch almost $12 trillion. So our test market was Pakistan to see how it goes by. And in Pakistan alone, the SAM is around $18.5 billion. And our obtainable market is currently a target of $500 million. Moving forward, our product. So what our product is. Think of it as an Upwork of architects. So initially, our first product into the market allows people to browse pre-built-in plans, pre-built-in house plans, and they can select these house plans and communicate with the architect as well. We also have an option of building your own customized house plan, where you're able to directly communicate with the architect itself and customize that specific plan in accordance to it. The solution has the ability, a marketplace where you can have an end-to-end delivery. It's a complete construction management system, which over the path we realized that it worked out, because when people were accepting the house plans, they wanted construction services as well. And that's where we got our vendors on board and started communicating with them. You can browse plans, you can hire a creator. Our competitive landscape, as of now, that we've identified, one of the unicorns is Make My House in India. And in Pakistan, we are the only segment that's working, and everybody else is just referencing these architects out. So the good thing that happened was Make My House contacted us, and we set up an MOU with them, and they're getting leads from Pakistan. And these people are forwarding those leads under that MOU to Apna House. So there's synergy that can be built in this field as well. Our revenue, we launched in 2021. It was 100% bootstrap. And in the first year, we achieved $65,000 worth of revenue. And in 2020, we achieved $100,000 revenue. And this year, we're expecting to achieve at least more than that, something on an average of 15 to 20% growth. This is our team. We are founder of the company, who's the perfect architect. She is building the next billion-dollar marketplace, and this was her idea. I am Mohammed Bilal, approximately 10 years plus of full-stack hardware development experience. We have our strategy officer, Christian Kram from Germany. He's almost had 10 plus years of marketing and technology experience, and our key gem, Bilal Ashraf Sheikh, who almost have 2 decades of business development and marketing experience. Thank you. Please feel free to ask any questions.
Bilal?
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you, Bilal. So I think I have an unfair advantage because I'm also from Lahore, so I might ask you a few tricky questions. You said you had
Sure.
100K of revenue last year. And
Yes.
so my first question is, how does your unit economics look like? It's a marketplace. You're acquiring on both sides, the customer and the service providers. So like, where are you with that? And when do you reach the break even?
When we talk about break even, think of it as a SaaS product, because what we are handling is every time a transaction occurs, we get a commission on top of it. So on an average, when you talk about construction, the average size is around, I'll convert it into, it's 1 CR in Pakistan, but in USD, it's around $35,000. So this is what hits our bank every time one project goes by, from architect to construction and delivery. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, thank you, Bilal. And my follow-up question is that what's your traction right now since the last 3 years, and how many houses have you built so far?
As of now, our architects, we assist in helping people build a house, so we would never claim their credit. Our architects that are on board with us, they've approximately helped 800 houses built as of now, and these includes a couple of commercial buildings as well. So we're doing a good job, making people feel at home. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Yeah, please. Any other questions?
Yeah, hi. Are you able to see me?
It's small, but I'm going to stop the screen share. Now that's better. Okay.
Okay, great. So my question is about the proprietary rights of the plans. So what prevents your customers from downloading the plans and then copying them or further selling them?
Okay. So the plans have thumbnails. Even if normally people download or use it as a reference, they still need the architect with these architectural drawings, the structural sets, and the plumbing sets. All that thing is over there. So one way or the other, when an architect designs a house, so he sells it at a higher price, but that plan is not reusable anymore. But now these plans are reusable, and the price value can go 1/3 of that. That's where we get our edge. So all these plans are reusable. So on the contrary, who doesn't use unproprietary stuff? There's a lot of people, you can't stop them, but that's where not our focus is. So it's not that much replicable, but it's definitely there is some proven space over there.
Okay, thank you. And maybe one quick question. Are you thinking
sure.
about expanding to additional markets outside of Pakistan?
Oh yes, definitely, because when we look at market sizes, definitely you want to get into bigger market sizes. So the probability of getting a better chunk and we becoming a unicorn, it's much more easier.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
One more time for Up in the House, everybody. Perfect. Now on to the next. Today's world is changing at a very rapid pace, as we're all very much aware. And this is
Recording
especially
stopped.
accelerated by the latest advancements in artificial intelligence. But it's very crucial that we keep in mind people who cannot keep up with this fast pace of technology, namely seniors. And our next guest from our next guest from Indonesia actually harnesses conversational AI for a mental health chatbot. So that is where I was leading. Oops. Yeah, please come onto stage, Salma Dias Saraswati from Tenang.
Okay. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here. I'm Salma from Indonesia.
Hey, I'm Wilbert, also from Indonesia, but based in Munich.
We're building Tenang, or in English it's calm or peaceful, an AI companion for your life and mental health. Yes. Do you know that actually 60% of people in Indonesia struggle with mental health, but they didn't seek help? Why? Because they feel judged, they feel underestimated. It's not available on weekends, at nights, and even it's very expensive.
Yeah, in Germany, where I live, it's also similar pain points. The waiting list to get a therapist is 6 months, 12 months if you don't speak the local language. And to get a private coach, it costs 100 euros, 200 euros per hour, which is too expensive for mere mortals like me. So basically, we want to create something that scales this mental health support. It has to be always available. It has to be empathetic. It must be affordable, safe, and private. And basically, we do this by leveraging generative AI. And what is it really? Are we just ChatGPT for mental health? What is our moat, defensibility? Well, the good thing is that our 1.0 product is a telehealth. So we do already have actual conversations between therapists and clients. And it's also in colloquial Indonesian language and culture, which is really key to hammer down that user experience in Indonesia. And we use this proprietary data to fine-tune our generative AI model, which generates therapeutic text that listens to you, is empathetic to you, and provides you support whenever you need it. But what if it's not enough? Sure, if you have subclinical problems, mild problems like burnout, stress out, sure, our companion can help. But what if you have more serious problems? Then we would refer you to our in-house psychologist. We would refer you to the appropriate ones based on your needs. And if you have even more serious problems, say self-harm or suicidal ideation, we would refer you to emergency hotlines that we partner with. And compared to other alternatives in Indonesia, basically we're the most affordable and available.
Yep, we start our market in Indonesia, but we plan to also expand to Germany and other countries because we understand that in accessibility and effectiveness and also price is something that we really need to tackle down together.
Since launching earlier this year, we have accumulated 3,000 users with 30% retention rate, and 90% of them actually felt helpful. So we're quite proud of those numbers.
How do we get this number? Well, by partnering up with Ministry of Health and also using relevant digital marketing to grab the users and with the communities and companies as well. And with the help of our team with the background of psychologists, business, and AI with also distinguished advisor, we believe that we can accelerate the growth of Tenang into other markets other than Indonesia. And also we are recognized by some of government bodies, and we just partnered up with UNAIDS Indonesia to tackle down this mental health problem, create a safe place, and help more people. So yeah, this is our projection. By Q3, we are looking for a close deal for $3 million US. And if you have anything to share to our AI, anything about Asia Berlin, any worry or everything, you can just scan this QR code, and this is how our, it's not really available, but yeah, this is how our AI answers your questions. It's really empathetic. It knows to understand you. And yeah, thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much. Over to the jury.
Hi, yeah, thank you so much. You said you have 3,000 users and they're currently using the product for free. How do you plan to make money in the future?
Do you want to answer that?
Yeah, sure. So we're still exploring the business model, to be honest. Just with any generative AI thing, there's going to be new UX, new business model. So we're still exploring that. But one thing that came to mind is subscription model, maybe per month or per session, but it really depends on the use cases, which would be one thing in Indonesia, and if we say expand to the German market, would be different use cases. But these are some ideas we're thinking about. Hope that answers your questions.
Yeah, thank you. And then follow-up question, you mentioned that you want to go into Germany as a next market. Do you also have proprietary data to train the model here, and how does it work with GDPR?
Yeah. So we would start with English first, because that's just easiest with the current technology. And we do have a lot of internationals struggling with mental health. They're the ones who have to wait 12 months instead of 6 months if you don't speak German. So that would be our beachhead. But indeed, then once we kind of validate that a little bit in Europe, Germany, we would then invest more in the GDPR, getting German language and things like that.
So just to follow up on that question, and first of all, thank you.
Yeah.
How do you ensure the confidentiality of your users?
Yeah. So obviously, yeah, that's always very important with healthcare kind of stuff. So we are aiming to be GDPR compliant or HIPAA compliant if we go to the US, and obviously we take it very seriously as well, like the encryption, security kind of aspects.
Yeah, just adding up to that, even our AI is very anonymous for now, so you don't have to put anything, just like say anything that you want to call with. So that's the basic thing that we start with now.
Thank you.
What are your distribution channels? How do you acquire customers? Are you just looking at patients, like who are patients, or just tell me more about the customers.
Yes, sure. Because we started our product with the telehealth, we have numbers of users or clients that become our quote-unquote community to test our AI. And even with my background as a psychologist and former lecturer, I do have like a community of students and also other Gen Z and millennials that are willing to be in a part of these innovations to try, because this is something that is new in Indonesia and something also that is interesting to those market, Gen Z and millennials.
Yeah, if I can just add a little bit, we know that this is kind of like talking to chatbot basically, and you want a bit of human aspect involved. So we take like user research and customer success very seriously. We follow up with sign-in guests who put in like their emails, who are willing to put in their emails. We follow up with them. We ask them, what they like and they don't like, basically, these kind of interview questions. And yeah, I mean, we basically just, ask them to help promote our product to their friends and their network. Yeah, I hope that answers your question.
So maybe 2 follow-up questions, but quick. How do you define your target customer, number 1? And who's the competition? Are you competing with the Calms and the Headspaces of the world?
Sorry, what was the second question?
Are you competing with Calm or Headspace?
Actually, we're a bit different than Calm and Headspace, because what they need in Indonesia, they need a safe place to talk to, but they also need like human-like interaction. So this AI companion, you have a companion that you can always talk to, because sometimes you don't really have that person to talk to. So it's a bit different market. And our users are going into usually 18 to 30, so basically like young generation. It's starting to grow in Indonesia for people to try our AI companion. So yeah, hope that answers your question.
Yeah,
Very much. One more time for Tenang from Indonesia. So in today's rapidly evolving business world, digital transformation is paramount for any organization's success. But a key step to getting there is making sure that you have the right tools that enable this to happen. And joining us here from Sri Lanka, our next startup builds custom enterprise software that is dedicated to your needs specifically. Please give it up for Isuru Karyavasam from Evolza Technologies.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Where people connect dots effortlessly. So I'm here to introduce you the most simplest, no-nonsense, no-code platform, or the codeless development platform that we developed inside Evolza. Right, I'm Isuru Karyavasam, the founder and CEO of Evolza. So I have created Evolza in 2022 with more than 8 years of experience in enterprise application development in many national and multinational organizations. Right, why Evolza? So I have seen many of these pain points that comes under enterprise application development. So there are many pain points that faced by the engineers and BAs and clients every day. But I have never seen a platform that addresses all these problems in a single shot. That's why we mainly plan to create Evolza CGaaS platform. Most of these platforms, they just lock you into their proprietary set of technologies by just providing a monolith or some fancy UIs and a bulky application for you. That's what they do. Right, this is an example. Meet Jeremy. Jeremy is a warehouse owner who needs to have his own warehouse management platform for his own rules. Jeremy is not a developer, not a UI UX expert, or not a workflow expert. He is an expert for his business, not for these things. Jeremy just needs to map what he wants to manage and how he wants to manage this component and who are the people who are going to manage this component. That's it. And system will identify, the Evolza CGaaS will identify all the entities that he requires to be generated, and it will generate and commit and run automatically. So we will generate actual codes, real codes, and every code is under open standard technologies. We never lock you in, and you can integrate hundreds of third-party applications with our platform. You can generate all these components with battle-tested technologies like this that are trusted by market leaders. According to Gartner research, we have 31,949 million market to swim. And we are planning to get 2% of that within next year, that worth 423 million with all these business models. And we are introducing another model called Custom Fit SaaS, which you can create your own application and you can run it on your own. So this is our roadmap, and these are some of our customers that we generated solutions within 10 days, within 14 days, some of the Sri Lankan big shots. Yes, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Brace yourself for the next generation of no-code, where the realms of no-code meets, converts the power of AI. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you so much. Very interesting. Would you say you have a competitive advantage in a specific type of software or industry?
Competitive advantage, I mean, you're asking?
Comparing to competition, or if I would ask you to choose one type of software you could focus on, or
we are mainly focusing on enterprise applications.
Do you have like a specific use case?
Yeah. That can be a warehouse management platform, that can be a customer relationship management platform. We can develop any kind of platform. If you want to integrate AI, we can do that as well. So it is like a flow. So people can generate whatever the thing that they want under the enterprise application. That can be for SME, large corporate, or whatever it is. Just going through the flow is to create a software.
Thank you.
How do you do sales? So
Yeah.
who are you do you have a sales team? Do you reach out to people? How do you go to market?
Currently, we do have 25 engineers and 4 marketing and sales people inside our company in Sri Lanka. We are mainly targeting Sri Lanka and Asia region right now, but we spend most of our money for R&D up to now. We did our first fundraising and we did spend for R&D. Now we are focusing on sales. And we are hiring people right now, but we do have some customers in Sri Lanka. Around 6 SMEs, around 4 big shots like Hilton, Sadaharita, and likewise Cinnamon Grand. So this is how we do marketing and sales at the moment. Mainly, we are planning to expand our business along with the partnerships. That's the main strategy that we are planning to go ahead.
432 million in the next 2 years. That's very 432 million in the next 2 years. How long is your sales cycle?
Up to now, since we have spent most of the money for R&D, we just got only 20,000 USDs through the sales. And we are expanding that on 2024 to get this target by hiring some more people and more partners to our company. Now we are more focused on business instead of R&D.
And how long is the sales cycle from, let's say, from a qualified lead to closing it? How long does it take?
That's different to country. For our country, it will take like 3 months to like completely get a business. For some of the customers, like inbound leads, so it will take only weeks, and it is depending on the customer.
And what's the average ticket size?
Average?
Average ticket size?
Average ticket size.
Like how much a customer pays you once they...
Yeah. Normally, that depends on the requirement. So to develop a complete warehouse management solution, it is just less than $8,000 US. A complete warehouse management solution, end to end.
And just last question. So you have a subscription model, or it's as per use?
Yeah. So we do have multiple models. So first one is the subscription model, low-code platform as a service. The second one is custom, tailor-made SaaS. That means we are developing solution for the customers, but we are not getting any upfront cost, and they can pay us like under the pay-as-you-go model, and the partnership model, and there are several models like that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Perfect. So on to the next. Did you know that 20% of the electricity used in buildings today is exclusively for cooling? And in especially dry climates, like for me back home in Pakistan, air conditioners are very common. You actually need them, right? It's a need, it's not a desire. Yeah, and going forward, we really need to think about the efficiencies involved and to really put as little load in terms of energy wasted. The next startup that is joining us virtually from India is bringing forward a modular, scalable cooling solution for residential, commercial, and institutionals at a fraction of the cost. Please give a very warm welcome to Jitan Desai from Ambiator.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. And your time starts now.
Thank you so much. My name is Jitan Desai, and I am representing Ambiator Private Limited. We want to cool humans without warming the planet. Essentially, we want to solve a lot of problems. The current systems are very expensive to run. They leak refrigerants, seep harmful chemicals in the soil, but also in the atmosphere. They use something called urban heat island that warms the planet. If you use them, they recirculate the same amount of air, and there's no ventilation. We wanted to look at alternatives that have low capex, OPEX, that provide ventilation, are eco-friendly, but are also solar ready because of the energy consumption. The time is now. I think the host said something on the tune of 20%. It's going to go up to 44% of energy consumption is going to be required for cooling by 2015. And in India, for instance, 70% of the real estate has not been built yet, and they will all need cooling. And we've seen unprecedented heat waves in the Indian climatic conditions. The market is huge. It's $4.5 trillion globally. In India, it's about $1.5 trillion. We are looking at a SOM of 140 million in the next 4 to 5 years. And in India, the penetration is between 7 to 8%, and it's growing very, very aggressively at a CAGR of 15%. We started in October 2022 and shifted our focus from projects to a product and improved on the technology. We have 2 granted patents. We have trade secrets and proprietary components, and we impact 5 SDG goals. This is quickly what the technology does. It's a 2-stage evaporative cooling, but it has generation 4. The first stage is where the air and water don't mix and provide the first level of cooling. In the second stage, a bit of humidity is added for hot and dry climatic conditions. And for existing buildings, which are brownfield applications, we are looking at piggybacking treated fresh air systems in malls, hospitals, etc. The applications are immense and across the board. And this is what our unit actually looks like. Our first unit is a 5-ton unit. It can cool a space of 1,000 square feet. It can provide a supply temperature of 20 plus minus 2. It's 100% fresh air. It uses only 1 kilowatt of energy versus 7.5 kilowatt to 9-10 kilowatt that a current solution uses. The real estate required is only about 2 square meter of installation space, and it's modular and scalable. We have an IoT device that's under development. It not only tracks the CO2 emissions avoided, but also provides preventive maintenance for us. I'll skip the technical specifications. This is the core team. Me and Tiger are the co-founders of this organization. Neeraj helps us with solutions in the dual part technology. Vyomesh is a MBA HVAC specialist, and we've outsourced our IoT development currently to a gentleman called Raju. We are bringing 3 platforms. The first platform is specifically for hot and dry climatic conditions, which is about 70% of India and covers a lot more countries in the global south. The first unit is 5 tons. We plan to miniaturize it to another 1-ton unit. And our next platform is the Space Cool platform, which builds on the Ambiator's platform, but uses a half capacity natural refrigerant compressor only to be used in humid and cold climatic conditions. It's a bioclimatic air conditioning unit. And in future, we are also talking to some research institutes to build a platform that makes compressors obsolete using material sciences and novel materials. We plan to grow very modestly. Our first couple of years, we are going to be focused only on the 5-ton Ambiator. And then we launched the 1-ton Ambiator, which is going to address the residential market, which is maybe 4 times larger than the 5-ton market. The direct climate impact is about at 0.01% market share. We avoid 38 gigatons of CO2 emissions avoided. Our systems use 85% less electricity. We are one of the only Scope 4 positive product in the market currently. One of the benefits is, like I mentioned before, we avoid urban heat islands. We don't use any GFGs, CFCs because we don't use a compressor at all. And the last point there, very important, because we use only 1 kilowatt of energy and provide 5 ton of cooling, we are also solar ready. So if there is an inverter and a battery system, we can provide net zero cooling as well. Thank you so much. That's me. We are ambiator.com and happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much. So we are a bit over time, but we will still go to the jury for one question. And yeah.
So I have just one question. What's your scalability strategy? How are you going to scale it? It's a great problem they're trying to solve, but it's an international problem. So tell us about scalability.
So on the supply side, we are raising some funds to make sure that we can manufacture between 50 to 100K units a month. On the demand side, we want to go down the route of B2B to start with, where we get bulk orders that we can execute, collect data, and scale it up and get the brand loyalty built up, and then go into the B2C market when we provide our residential unit, which is a 1-ton unit that sits into residential apartment, bedrooms, etc., etc. So from a scalability, there is huge potential. We are only scratching the surface. We are very conservative on our growth. We've considered 0.4% market share in the next 5 years. And that's also more than enough for us to grow.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. One more time for Ambiator, everyone. On to the next. So, plastics are everywhere today. The chairs that you're sitting on, the clothes you're wearing, and also the water you're drinking. That's right, the water you're drinking. So it's estimated that in each liter of drinking water, you come across 300 different types of microplastics. And I don't need to be a health expert to tell you that's not good. Our next startup, however, is working on a solution for this. Please welcome onto the stage Berlin's very own Faizan Ahmed with Klar2O.
Hi. First of all, thank you very much for having us here today. My name is Faizan Ahmed, and as Daha already announced, our today's topic is microplastics. First of all, let me just quickly introduce microplastics to you. In Germany, microplastics is defined as plastic particles smaller than 5 millimeter, which is, for me, a bit misunderstanding, because you could actually take a kitchen strainer and also call it a microplastics filter. And especially for me, as a biochemist, it's also misleading. Because bigger particles are recognized by our body, smaller ones are not. And as Daha already told you, there are more than 300 different of these small plastic particles in only 1 liter of drinking water. Imagine drinking every day 600 different plastic particles that can accumulate in your liver, your adipose tissue, your lungs, kidney, spleen, and even the placenta of pregnant women. And last year, we found out that microplastics is also in the human blood and can even cross the blood-brain barrier, which is the highest selective barrier in the human body. And we at Klar2O, we do not want to have this in our drinking water, and we do not want to have any damage by microplastics and any inflammatory reactions. And we want to recreate water and renature our drinking water. And this is why we developed a smart surface technology consisting of a biochemical coating that catches the plastics out of drinking water. We developed different kind of molecular adhesion coatings that consists of billions of little molecular arms that grab the microplastics in the water and just catch it out. And here at the bottom right, you could see how our filter media looks. So these are small spherical beads, and we can fill it in each housing. And the good thing is, due to the surface, we have a pressure-free flow through in our filter. But what makes the difference? Membrane filters, they have a pore. They have a pore size, and everything smaller than the pore size still goes through the filter and penetrates the human body. And at Klar2O, we do not have a pore. So we do not have a limit. We have a coating. And this means we can filter down to the smallest molecule. Even a monomer of a plastic molecule can be catched by our filter system. But that's not all. We developed a regeneration technology at Klar2O, so people all over the world can send their filter back to us. We can regenerate the filter, recycle the microplastics, and the customer can use the filter again. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is called circular economy. We would like to see Klar2O everywhere where water flows and everywhere where clean water should be. We are right now currently running pilot phases and pilot projects. We are looking for our next financing round. And if there is any partner interested in a joint cooperation or a joint development to add another product on the slide, feel free to contact us anytime. And at the end, we would like to say, the fish have no choice, but you do say no to plastics in your body. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Over to Jiri.
Yeah, thank you so much. My question would be, what is your customer then? Are you selling to appliances companies or to consumers directly? And what about kind of how expensive is it?
Actually, we wanted to start going B2C, but having the marketing expenses is way beyond our startup. So we started B2B. We are working with home consumer goods, and right now our pilot is on how should I say in English? It's like a water bottler. Yeah. And 1 kilogram of our material costs around 12 euro to 20 euro. So we are actually quite cheap. But it took us a long time to get there, by the way.
Hey, thank you so much. Do you have further questions? Okay. So I wanted to ask if the solution also helps to remove sediments or bacteria on top of microplastic, or is it only microplastic?
It's actually a really good question. We only filter out microplastics. We do not see Klar2O as a final filter at the end. We see it as additional stage for existing filter systems where we could easily add it.
Okay, thank you.
Fazan, so what you just said, it opens opportunities for collaborations more than competition. But I would still want to know your two biggest competitors in Germany and how do you differentiate yourself?
Yeah. Our biggest competitor, I think many of you already know, is Wasser 3.0 in Karlsruhe. They built a bioreactor, I guess, where they put a chemical into it and then it agglomerates into a huge microplastic suspension or like a solid. We already were in talks with each other. We have two different applications. It's completely in two different ways, as we are on the consumer side and Wasser 3.0 is more on upscaled industry. Yeah. I think your questions might be extended because everyone in the water section can be a competitor. I do not like to say it or call it a competitor. I would love to call it a partner. And most of them are partners of us and we are working with them. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, we filed 2 patents, one for the coatings and one for the regeneration technology.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So our next guest overlaps the realms of art and technology to unlock incredible creative possibilities and experiences. Please give a huge round of applause for Makoto Inoue from Hachi Art.
Hello everyone. My name is Makoto Inoue from Hachi Art. Oh, sorry. So today I want to talk about our product Poem. Proof of experience mapping. This is so we already product on out of this hall, just QR code on posters. So do you like SNS, social media? Instagram, Facebook, Twitter? Of course I know it's very useful. But the more follower, the higher status. Actually, so a friend of mine, hey, Makoto, I have 10,000 followers. Hey, I have so power. But actually, he bought it. No, this is so fake. You know, sir, we have many fakes over the world. And problem of SNS, privacy concerns, spread of misinformation and hate speech, and mental health. Share profit, because so our product is NFT. So sell NFT stamp and ensure safety. Record on blockchain and keep healthy. This is on real experiences. Yeah, just it. Scan QR or connect NFC and get poem and collect your experience. So we can make community on same experience. And we are developing giveaway poem with message. It's networking on same experience, poem with poem. Yeah, you can make some short message with giveaway poem. And market size is total available market is global number social media user 4.8 billion. Number of use blockchain 300 million. And 3% of people NFT owner is 4.5 million. And this is business model, just 0.5 euro per one NFT. 10% of market size, and 10 experiences is 4.5 million. So we can revenue 2.25 million. Do you feel it's experience? 50 cents. Okay, I will show you 50 cents. That's it. One toilet in beer garden. It's 50 cents. This is one NFT gift with same experience. I don't feel experience. And so we have many competitors, but also they need crypto wallet and crypto. We don't need crypto and crypto wallet. So this is our position, and so we can make achievements, so many achievements in this year. So today we have the same experience. So out of this hall, we have a poster with QR code. And so come to me. I can share this experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Makoto. Over to the jury.
Thank you for this very engaging pitch. I have one question. What would happen to, that would help, like that would just fail the startup? So what is your core assumption if it becomes false, you don't have a business?
Yeah, this is so, it's a free NFT stamp. It's easiest way to get NFT. So usually, so we get NFT, it's very, it's complicated. So we need a wallet and we need crypto, but we don't need everything. Just QR code and email. And so this is the first step. And second step is we can make community same experience. For example, we have some batch from Asia Berlin Summit. So we can connect each. And so just one message by, it's like a 0.5 euro each. It's a Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. So many words over the world. So which is fake, which is real? I think it's, yeah, so, but also if you send message with NFT, it's like a more important message, I feel, like a writing letter. So this is our business model.
What about the traction so far? How many people do you already have on the platform using it?
It's from last December, almost 5,000 people already getting. But now we are developing so system, and actually we have a make, it's already we are using some artificial intelligence system. For example, like we can make a photo. This is so connecting with AI, and it's a abstract image with profile, and each connect each system. This is developing.
A follow-up question. Thank you for the interesting pitch. Out of the existing customers, how many are recurring customers that have been purchasing more than once? So if you have, do you have customers that use the platform more than one time, that they keep coming back?
Okay. Actually, so it's few percent. So some percent in Japan, it's they're using many times. Some business partner is like a nightclub in Tokyo, and so like some shop in Tokyo, they are using our system. And some museum in Berlin also using this system. But sometimes, so this kind of event, I hope using everyone. And so it's but so not now, but I hope.
Okay, thank you so much.
I have one more question. So I see the problem, you explained it, there's an opportunity, but I want to know, why are you doing this?
Okay, so first of all, I'm using POAP. It's an NFT project, but this is proof of attendance protocol. So it's hard to spread because we need MetaMask and some crypto wallet, and so like it's very not good UI. It's last October I used this system for it's an event in Shibuya, but not working. So I and my partner think we should make it more flexible and easier product. This is the first step for us.
Thank you very much, Makoto. One more time for Hachias, everyone.
Thank you so much.
For our next startup, let's go back to the topic of using technology for inclusivity. Our next startup on stage brings a product that any elder can use to connect with their loved ones, all from the comfort of their living room. Please join me in welcoming onto the stage Teo Ortega from Family Cards.
Hi everybody, my name is Teo Ortega from Family Cards. I'm joining from Antwerp today. Sorry I cannot be there, even though I'm from Berlin. I would love to be on stage, but thank you everybody for having us. And we're tackling a problem that's affecting close to 70 million people in Europe alone, but it's not only a problem in Europe, it's a problem as well in Asia, particularly in Japan and North Korea. And it's people who cannot use smartphones, tablets, and computers, right? Either they never use them in their lifetime, or they try to use it but have cognitive or physical impairment. What that means is they cannot access a lot of the digital services that are really vital for them, including telemedicine, therapy, prevention, and just communicating with their family. So there's a lot of companies actually in this sector and trying to solve this topic of digitalizing seniors. But what we looked at them in detail, and what we found is that all of them start with existing technology and they kind of try to adapt it for older people. And in reality, it looks like this. They take a smartphone and they just make the buttons bigger and they call it a senior smartphone. But the reality is that just doesn't work like that. It's not the reality that people face. So we analyzed the needs and wants of older people. And what we came up with is very straightforward. They spend a lot of time in front of the TV. That's a critical part of their life. It's the biggest screen in the house. So why don't we base our experience on that? So what we developed is a haptic platform. It is a device that you put on your coffee table, and you get physical cards with that. So each card has one function. So whatever's on the card will be executed on the TV. So you just place the card here and it starts a video call directly with the person that is displayed on the card. But don't only think about this as a video calling platform. It is a platform in itself, and it does video calling. But on top of that, we have family photos and videos, so you can share experiences with your older ones. You can do activation exercises specifically for that age group. You can share content just to avoid boredom. We are right now implementing with a third party a telemedicine application so that you can have a video consultation with your doctor and you can do rehabilitation with a doctor. And our goal is actually to include anything that we use on our smartphone on a daily basis to have that available for everybody, literally. And it's really about including everybody. It's including people with dementia, with Alzheimer's, with Parkinson's, arthritis. And you don't even need a specific infrastructure for that. It works without a smart TV. It works without, if you don't have broadband internet, it comes with a 4G SIM card. So we want to really include as many people as possible. We tested this device with more than 80 users so far and got really positive feedback. Users love our product. And we've got a B2C business model. So we target the grown-up children of the seniors. And it's a subscription model that comes for 34 euros per month. On top of that, we got another couple of interesting cases in the B2B and B2G space that we're following up on as well. We developed a lot of traction so far. We developed the core product and validated the usability and desirability and got really a lot of interest from different stakeholders in the market. Now, we're really proud of this. Even though we're really a young company, we managed to pre-sell 533 units and generated over 200,000 euros of revenue and have developed several partners and clients in the B2G space as well. So super interesting market. We're in the overall age tech market, which amounts to $3.7 trillion, and our SOM is $2 billion US a year, which is the overall digitalization space for older people. We have an awesome team. I built two startups before, exited one of them successfully. My co-founder does all the technology, and we've got really strong team with age tech experience. So we're really prepared for this. And we're actually raising funds. We're raising 400,000 euros to finish the industrialization at the telemedicine part and kickstart the B2C campaigns. Yeah, thank you so far.
Thank you very much, Theo. Over to the jury.
Thank you, Theo. It's a very interesting problem that you're targeting. I want to ask you that your target customer, is it the same as your target user?
No, we're targeting the grown-up children of the seniors. So it's people between 45 and 65 years old themselves who have parents who are 20 to 30 years older. But like the important thing about the user is actually not necessarily the age itself, right? It's not about age, we call it stage, right? If you are in a stage where, yeah, your physical, your cognitive capabilities just a little bit worse, that's when you need a device like this.
Thank you. And your business model, is it a subscription-based? Because you mentioned $402 per unit.
Yes, correct. So the B2C model is subscription-based, but the units we sold one-off. So that was a particular case for a university hospital with who we are partnering in the context of a clinical study. So we are part of a clinical study, and there's a whole medtech part behind of it, which in a deeper conversation I would love to get into as well.
One last question. So what's your customer support looks like? How do you do that?
So we don't currently have a customer support because we're in the industrialization phase, so I cannot sell you the device. Actually, I can only pre-sell it to you. But the first leg of the customer support is actually the family itself. So the device comes with a family app over which the family actually controls the device itself. So when something breaks, the other person will tend anyway to call first the family member, and they can remotely configure, reconfigure, and troubleshoot the device. So that's the first layer. And then on top of that, we will have our customer support service that will probably actually target, again, the grown-up children and not necessarily the older person.
Thank you. Which markets are you currently targeting?
In terms of geography?
Yes.
So we're starting with Germany. That's our first market because it's our home market. But then actually we went to Japan. We presented this product in Japan and got really great interest from Japan. So this is actually one of our next big markets. Oldest population in the world, and really not afraid of using technology to solve their problems. So Japan is actually a very interesting market for us. And probably before that, the DACH region itself and the rest of Europe. But again, Japan is actually a super interesting market as of today.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, one more question. How do you think about customer acquisition on the B2C side? So is it online marketing? Is it only D2C, or will you also partner?
Oh, we would love to partner, but in fact, one of the critical things how we want to approach this is the brick and mortar part, because still a lot of our buyers still buy brick and mortar. And one of the most interesting channels for us is telecommunication stores, so the physical stores. So we'd love to partner with Deutsche Telekom, Vodafone, all of these companies to sell our devices through their stores. Our devices come with a SIM card slot, so it is in their interest to sell SIM cards. So there's a win-win situation there. And we know that many of our customers, the first place they look for a solution is telecommunication shops, because they think like, yeah, I'm solving this same problem for me with a phone, so maybe I need to find a phone for my older person. And then they discover this product and can buy it. So brick and mortar is an interesting part. D2C will always be there, but probably the most interesting part is the telecommunication route.
Thank you. Maybe one more question about incoming calls. So would that be through your system or through the regular phone?
No, it works through our system. So you actually have cards where you can accept or decline a call. That works.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Theo.
Thank you.
Our next guests on stage are experts in developing polycarbonate sheets for a variety of applications. Anko's safe and lightweight polycarbonate provides unparalleled performance and some very unique applications as well. Please give a very warm welcome to Robert Kao from Anko.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm Robert Kao of the Anko company, and we are talking about why the PC glazing today. So that's our actual product. So you will see we have finished some real product for our customer. So you will see for the light SkyTrain, they need a lightweight and very good for impact to about some people was hurt when the car. That's our another case for the driverless car. So it can be a window and the car body one piece. So it can saving a lot of cost for the car company. And we also have a lot of new application, even like solar roof and diamond roof. So can saving the cost, even the steady tennis. So you see, that's the car body with the window. So we have color already. So the car company no need to painting anymore. So can saving a lot of cost. So that's our factory now in China. We are the only one who making from the raw material to plastic to finished product in the world now. Okay, so why PC glazing? As you knew, everybody have some experience regarding that. We don't know when the glass will be broken. So somebody would hurt and somebody may be dead. So that's why the Tesla also need like the window were not broken, but unfortunately it was broken all the time. So that's why we are dealing with them now regarding our new product. So the PC glazing was lightweight, so it was only half of the glass, so it can saving a lot of energy for making your EV car can be ride longer. And also it's for safety, so it was the bulletproof material, so it can protect the people inside. All the designer can be free now because no engine anymore. So the hood cover, windshield, sunroof, rear window can be one pieces. So you will have a very good shade of the car in the future. And also this material was heat in solution, so it can saving a lot of energy regarding aircon, so even for the building. And it can be lower the noisy, so the NVH performance will be very good. That's why all the highways, the sound, the world using this material. And we have the hard coating on the surface, so the water will be falling down. So in the future, the wiper will be gone because we have developing new product for the windshield already. So the water will not stay there. It will not brand your eyes. Also, it can be multiple process. So in the future, the car company can saving a lot of cost because just like we say, one piece is the rear door, the D-panel cover can be one piece. Also, we have making the color already. So the car company don't need to painting anymore. So they can saving a lot of cost in the future. So that's our real process. You see, our sunroof with the sun brand automatic, so we can let the people in the car more comfortable. And also we have some case in China now. So you will see the left picture, all of the pickup was want to carry the cargo, but when you stop the braking, you will see that's very dangerous because all the goods will impact the glass, were broken, will hurt somebody in the passenger. So the PC, you see, very strong impact now, but is still there, can protect people, or even the big size of the train, bus. Also, we can make the roof with the solar because it can be heat restoration, so we can making the steady line. Okay, even the transparent video. So in the future, your car, like a cinema, you can see the moving in the future. And also we have a shining, without the LED, it can be shining. So when you stop the braking, your car will be shining, or even you play the music in the future, that's what. Okay, we have established 2018, and first plan on 2020 in Jiangsu. Now we have another plan in Hebei and set up a new plan. So our plans, one PC hard coating plan and another 9 finished product beside the car company. So we can let the car company saving a lot of cost, and we can deliver it very soon for them. Okay. So we have planned the equipment material process for the moldable and printable hard coating. That's why we can making the PC sit in one side and then send to Mexico, send to Europe, send to other place beside the car company, can making the finished product all that time. Okay, so we have 3 plants in China now. On 2024, we are going to set up a Mexico plant for Tesla, General Motors, and Ford, and also Thailand for the Taiwan Foxconn company. They're making the EV car there. So we are beside them. We can quickly to support them. And now we got a tier 1 supplier of a OEM vehicle company already. I think that's amazing because we just only 2 or 3 years. As you knew, the automotive industry, if you want to be a tier 1 of them, it can take us a long time, especially developing the project. So one of our big company, customer is the Stellantis Group. So everybody knows that's Chrysler and the Fiat and the Peugeot and the Citroën. They come as one group. Very big company, but we are very small, but we are the tier 1 of them. So we say that's amazing now. And also, we were preparing the Round A financing kick-off on this October, and that's our project. Thank you.
Very much. We're a bit short on time for the startup, so maybe just one question from the jury.
Thank you so much for sharing. Very interesting. Do you have any information about the environmental footprint comparing to using glass?
About it?
About the environmental aspects. So is it possible to recycle it? Is it
Sure. So that's very good, the low carbon product, because you know the glass, they need 1,000 degrees to producing something, but we only need 120 degrees only. So it's saving a lot of energy. Of course, it can recycling because that's the plastic product. So it can be a window, and after broken, then you can do something. Anyway, I mean, what I'm being broken is the life, product life finishing, because it never broken. Sorry.
Okay, super. Very good to know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. So for one final time today, let's go back to the topic of using technological advancements to support groups which are most in need. Hospitals and healthcare professionals require support to do their best in taking care of seniors, especially those that require constant supervision. And coming from right here in Berlin, Bearcover brings together advanced robotics and sensors to develop Oscar, the nighttime shift worker. Please come on stage.
Oh, thank you very much. Can we get a round of applause for the Asia Berlin team as well, please? Yeah, give them a round of applause. So, hi, my name is Dan, and we're focused in Bearcover on building robotic nursing assistants that can reduce falls at nighttime in nursing homes and inpatient facilities. So what's the problem? Well, nursing homes are in crisis. They face widespread staffing shortages, increased demand for their services from an aging population, and growing costs. At nighttime right now in nursing homes, it's not uncommon for a single caregiver to manage more than 50 residents by themselves alone. That means they no longer have time to physically check on residents for incidents like falls. 70% of nursing home residents will fall every year, and 30% of those residents die within 12 months of their first fall. Collectively, this costs tens of thousands of euros for our healthcare system in treatment of falls and fall-related injuries. That's why at Bearcover, we've developed a mobile autonomous robot that is able to see through closed doors and walls and send alerts directly to caregivers on duty. With the same number of staff, nursing homes can now perform 20 times the number of checks on residents without ever having to install a single device inside a resident's private bedroom. So how does it work, you ask me? Well, basically we combine robots and radar that allow us to sense movements through closed doors. At nighttime, my robots drive down the corridor, they stop outside a door, they scan for the person, identify the position, and notify the caregivers on duty if they see anything unusual. In our current pilot supports, we're working mostly with caregivers to reduce response times to falls and other incidents. But in the future, we don't want to just respond to falls, we also want to predict and prevent falls to make sure that they never happen, saving lives and money for our healthcare systems. In terms of competition, it's pretty simple. We are the only solution on the market that does not require in-room installation. This greatly increases the ability to implement quickly, and the costs associated with that allows us to cover all residents as standard from a single device, and also brings our CapEx costs dramatically lower when compared to traditional sensor solutions. And our clients think so too. We are already working with a number of Germany's leading nursing home providers, and our investors own and operate nursing homes, geriatric clinics, and hospitals in both Germany and the USA. We're a team that is obsessed with the problem. We personally spend weeks living and working overnight in nursing homes. When you invest in us, you invest in a full team of 12 people covering all elements of commercial, product, and technology to bring this to market. Our business model is super simple. We charge 499 euros per robot per month on a pilot price, and closer to 1,000 for mature pricing for the device. That's about 48,000 euros per year for a nursing home, which gives us an ARR of 48,000 per facility and software-like margins on our product and service. And the market, as you all know, is huge and growing, with potential to expand into other target markets like geriatric hospitals and dedicated hospitals. 10% of our target market, which is nursing homes with 70 beds or more, so the larger facilities, is roughly 36 million euros a year in Germany recurring, and 8% of this initial target market is around 80 million euros recurring across Germany and the USA. Asia is a totally different story that we can get into in the Q&A. I am currently raising 2.5 million to service 10 homes that I already have in contract to roll out our technology and achieve an ARR of 500,000 euro with booked revenues from our multi-site providers of $1 million plus. If you would like to change the future of healthcare, the future of how everything is done in inpatient care at nighttime, for the better, reach out to me today to learn more. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Over to the jury.
Yeah, thank you so much for the pitch. Just one question. So I was looking at 100 euros per resident, and then you have another pricing model, which is 1,000 euros per facility?
Yeah.
What
So I put that in to be a comparison. The existing sensor solutions operate on a model of between 1,500 and 3,000 per sensor with a management fee for software licensing, which means if you have a 100-bed nursing home, you have to put up 300,000 plus contractor fees to install these devices if you can get the consent to get them in the room. This has always been the barrier for a cash-strapped industry. For us, there's actually no CapEx cost for nursing homes. The total cost of devices for me for a 100-bed nursing home is like 12 grand. So I can actually say to the nursing homes, hey, I'll roll out 4 robots in your facility. I'll get them up and running in 1 day. And if you don't find value after the first month or 2 months after we train your staff, I will take them back and redeploy them to another facility. So the CapEx is just there as a comparison, but actually the CapEx costs are much, much better. It's a model that works specifically for those kind of homes.
Thanks. Huge market, you already mentioned.
Very big.
So what's going to be your scaling strategy?
So my scaling strategy at the moment, as I think I had on the slides, if we can go back, which I can't. So we're focused on working, so because it's a physical product that requires service, maintenance, and customer interaction, we're focused on being geographically close. So all of my pilot homes are in Berlin, Brandenburg. So we focus here, we work directly with the homes, we deploy, and we learn how to basically build the devices and make them work on a sort of a scale of about 50 units. After we've figured that out, we go to a contract manufacturer, which unbottles supply. So then we know that we have devices that are battle tested that we can then put anywhere. Then we go geographically into cities and regions that make most sense, where we build a service and distribution hub. And longer term, we partner with channel partners for servicing. So people that already repair wheelchairs, beds, things that are in these facilities. And we train them based on our gold standards so that we can be everywhere. This is basically the approach that we take. That's the operational side. On the sales side, we mostly work through our existing network and with large providers. So at the moment, my reach is roughly 1/3 of all nursing homes in Germany are in some way connected to me, my investors, and my existing clients. Most of my clients all operate tens or hundreds or even thousands of sites in their network in Germany and other European countries. And we will continue to scale, what would you call it, like bottom down with those clients and top up by acquiring nursing homes directly via cold calling and traditional trade fair techniques.
Are there any applications beyond the nursing home?
So we started to explore 2 additional applications and brought on 2 pilot facilities. The first was geriatric clinics. So for those of you who don't know, nursing home, so hospital, you're very sick. Geriatric clinic, you're not sick enough to be in the hospital, but you're too sick to go home or to a nursing home, and an end of that, nursing home. So the interesting thing about that is the price per bed, the unit economics increases in each of those facilities. So we started in nursing homes. Now we have pilot interest signed for geriatric clinics, which is also another use case. And then we shifted into hospitals. In hospitals, the use case is not so much fall reduction, except in neurology and geriatrics. But for general population, it's what's called staff balance. So it's being able to redeploy staff from areas of low dependency to areas of high dependency, which is better. So this is our current expansion, but in the future, you could also do commercial property or other things. The basic model that we think of is, where do you need high quality sensors, but you don't need real-time data? So where can I have sensors that actually walk or move direction to the thing that you want to do? And that's kind of like an open question to the audience if people have more ideas. Yeah.
I just want to dig deeper into Hendrik's
I have all
question.
the time in the world for you, so come on.
Hendrik's question. So what I understood when other in essence, it just going past the room
Correct.
and telling you what's going on inside. So what I understood from Hendrik's question is that are there other applications that you can consider besides nursing homes or hospitals with the same technology?
Yeah, so that's kind of like an open question. So if you scaled into both of those markets, you would have like a multi-billion euro company in the space. Obviously, you can take, because the radar tech is proprietary to us, you can take the radar technique and you can also take the robotics. So it's sort of like commercial property is an interesting avenue to go into, or other areas like this. So I haven't made it there yet, but I'm happy to talk afterwards if you want.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much. Have a good day, guys.
It is impossible to deny that the future is electric, especially given the rapid advancement in batteries and electric vehicles. However, we still need to ensure that our systems are running at their maximum possible efficiencies with minimal energy waste. And the next startup joining us virtually from India is transforming electric grids for a sustainable future. Please welcome Ankit Kapoor from Electric Bee. Ankit, can you hear us?
Sure, thank you.
Perfect, your time starts.
Thank you. Alrighty. So if this event was happening in one of the many countries of Asia, I'm pretty sure the hotels or the places hosting this event would have a diesel generator as a mandatory backup deployed. That is because a lot of grid interruptions happen. Now, if I tell you, all of you all, that we were to take away all the emissions that the diesel generator might have made, and in return given power along with 200 euros a month. That might sound a little overwhelming, but we'll get to it. So we are still at single digit EV penetration, guys, and the grid has already started to become fragile, meaning more frequent short-term power outages. As I said, when things like these happen, the only resort is to switch to a diesel generator. A single 62 kVA genset emits around 300 kgs of carbon dioxide, only running for 3 hours. Not only that, a diesel generator has a lot of commercial and technical constraints, comes at around 3 times per unit of power. Solutions like PNG are really time intensive, need a lot of piping infra. A DG set has also a lot of technical constraints, cannot support under and overloading. Solutions like biogas have very high behavioral barriers. Presenting to you, ladies and gentlemen, the PowerPod this week, boy, is a battery-based energy storage system that is 95% efficient, scalable in design so that you can scale it up or down according to your needs. It comes at only 1/3 operating cost of a similar range diesel generator. Our beachhead is construction and industrial customers due to their outweighed contribution to emissions and also because they're extremely cost sensitive. As I said, the PowerPod comes at around 1/3 operational expenditures, so the ROI happens really quick, which is less than 20 months. Zealer is our converter tech that helps in doing all of this and also provides 3 times jerk load that no other solution provides. Although I'm going to talk more about Zealer in the coming slides. Faridabad is a single dot in the map of India. Faridabad is a city in the state of Haryana. It's literally a dot in the map of India. Faridabad alone runs on 378 megawatt of gensets. That's equivalent to 12,600 power pods. So that's already more than $100 million in revenue. So you could imagine how big the market is. We do this via 2 models. One is we directly sell it to DG set aggregators who are then able to lease out to their own set of existing customers. And the other one is wherein we lease it out directly to CNI customers. Now, these are very, very conservative projections. We are doing 10 units this year, moving on to 48 and then 350 by 2025. And we will be sitting on more than $4 million in EBITDA in less than 3 years, doing all of this by operating margin of more than 50% over COGS. Now, I know most of you all who are acquainted with this industry might be thinking there are hundreds of energy storage system companies out there. So how are we different? Which is the key question. Now, in Asia, most of our home appliances, they come with an inverter built-in technology, our air conditioner, our refrigerator. That's not necessarily the case in the West, right? That's mostly because there's a huge energy quality problem along with supply. And that is where electric bee hits the ground because we solve both. Explaining Zealer via an example. So if a factory owner, if an industrial customer would require 82 kVA of power requirement, would own a diesel genset for 900,000. If he would buy any other storage solution, he would get it for 1,300,000. Whereas Electric Bee's solution, because of Zealer, because it is able to provide critical jerk load for those critical seconds, which goes up to 3 times, it only comes at 11.5, which is still 25% more expensive than a similar required diesel generator, but you get to cover all that up because 1/3 operating expenditures, and also you mitigate around 2 million tons of carbon emissions a year. My name is Ankit, ladies and gentlemen. We are a complementing team from diversified backgrounds like storage, policy, hardware, manufacturing, supply chain. We are through with our paid pilots and commercializing as we do this pitch. We have repeat orders from the customers that we have done paid pilots with. We have been recognized by Net Zero Summits. We are currently raising our round. That's more than 70% subscribed already. We're closely working with companies like Boeing. We already have a patent in name of Zealer. We are an ARC grantee. These are literally the most exciting times to be in the clean tech space. The EV revolution disrupts the power equation, and we want to help make the grid more resilient via our distributed energy resources. Happy to answer any of your questions.
Thank you very much, Ankit. Over to the jury.
Thank you. How much does one unit cost, and is it going to be a profitable business?
Oh, sure. So as I said, one unit costs around $15,000. The unit is for 50 kilowatt hour. So as I said in the comparison slide, although it costs 25% more capital expensive than a similar power requirement of a diesel generator, but because the operational expenditures are 1/3, so you get to cover all that extra cost that you pay in just less than 20 months. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Hi, Ankit. Could you please go back to the team slide?
Sure. Yep, go ahead.
All right. So I believe Aman is the tech guy.
Sure.
And who else do you have in your team? Just two of you, or there are some larger team as well? What other capacities do you have in the team?
We are a fast-growing, humble team of 8 people. So we have Shaurya, who's energy efficiency executive. We have Shreya, who handles operations. There's Aman and me, of course. And then there's Shivam, who handles sales because we have started to commercialize right now. There's Mr. Jha, who is project supervisor because these deployments majorly happen at different sites. So we are a growing team of 8 people right now.
Great. One thing I think I missed it somewhere in the slide. Who is your biggest competitor? Who are you competing with?
Do you want me to go back? So, of course, there are major people like Agrico and EdStack who have been in the energy storage space since more than a decade now, and who drive it all through in most economies, I suppose. But also, I think our edge again goes back to the Zealer tech that I spoke about. So if I were to explain this more, because I said that our beachhead is only construction and industrial customers. So if you would realize most industrial loads, they have a certain sort of peak load. So let's suppose very simple, basic example, when an induction motor starts, there's an impulse load, which is probably 2 to 2.5 times the normal load. So now if you were to buy any other energy storage system available in the market, you will have to buy a system that ranges equivalent to the peak load for normal running times also. So then you become really, really capex heavy. With Zealer and Electric Bees PowerPod, you only buy a 1/3 ranged energy storage system, which can cater to your peak load requirements for those critical seconds only, so that you do not become very capex heavy, and the entire solution becomes a hit. Because that's precisely the reason why energy storage systems haven't been able to replace diesel generators, and that is the problem that we solve.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Please give a round of applause to Electric Bee.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
For the next startup, we're going to stick to the topic of electrification. Another key concern for many in the industry is the lack of mobility for energy storage solutions. The next startup on stage, hailing from right here in Berlin, has a solution to combat exactly that. Please give a huge round of applause to Anouk Halle from Greenbox Mobile Energy.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Anouk, and I represent this Berlin-based startup called Greenbox Mobile Energy. As you could already guess from our name, we are a delivery service for green energy. Green energy either in the form of green electricity or green hydrogen, and mobile energy because it works totally off-grid. In 2030, we will have 65 million electric cars on European roads alone. That means a very significant increase in the demand for electricity. The grid-based infrastructure cannot meet this increase, and that is why with our mobile energy solution, we want to complement the grid. That means we can offer green energy quickly and easily at the places where the grid is not ready yet. And our off-grid energy operation is basically based on swapping containers that contain green energy, and we call these containers e-packs. So first, as you can see here, we charge the e-pack directly at the local renewable energy source with green electricity or green hydrogen. Second, we transport with our electrical fleet the full e-pack to the point of sale. And at the point of sale, we swap the full e-pack for the empty one. And then third, at the point of sale, we connect this full e-pack to a dispenser unit. And the dispenser unit, that is where the customer can charge their electric vehicle. The electric mobility market is a fast-growing and very attractive market, and we want to grow with it. And our customers, our primary segment, are electric vehicle drivers. Our business model is based on an energy-as-a-service approach. That means we sell green energy in the form of euros per kilowatt hour. We sell this energy in a very attractive premium market in fast charging for electric vehicles. And because we do this off-grid, we have some advantages over the grid-based infrastructure. The first is our flexibility to adjust to the demand. The second is the low risk and the low investment costs due to the mobile assets we use. And some of these mobile assets are standardized storage units for energy. As I told you already, we call them e-packs. And they are either in the form of batteries for the green electricity or in the form of spherical tanks for the green hydrogen. And these standardized storage units are cutting edge, and that's why they give us an advantage over our competitors. And of course, our energy-as-a-service operation is driven by our own software, telling us what to do and when to do it. And this software also optimizes our operation each step of the way by doing data analysis and machine learning. And right now we're super excited because actually we're about to release our first pilot project in the mid of Germany, close to Kassel. And in the next month, our first fast charging mobile station will be ready to operate. And this is thanks to our fast-growing team and our two founders, Dr. Henning Heppner and Mr. Schenner. They are both very successful serial entrepreneurs, and combined they have over 60 years of experience in the mobility industry. Thank you very much for your attention. If you want to know more, please get in touch.
Thank you very much. Over to the jury.
Yeah, thank you very much. Very interesting. You mentioned that you have an application. Is it also available for the user to indicate where is the nearest charging station or the availability?
So no, this application is just for internal use to do the operations, and then we actually work with standard CPOs, so charge point operators, and we give the customer our locations through the mobility services that they provide.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, look, it's very interesting. It's an entire infrastructure, a complete ecosystem that you're trying to build.
Yes.
Just one question. So how would you define your MVP? What is the minimum viable product that you need to achieve?
That we're going to achieve right now with the first pilot?
Yeah. What's your definition for the MVP?
Yes, so it's actually right now one energy storage unit that we connect to one fast charger, and this energy storage unit we will connect to the solar park. So that is our minimum viable product at the moment for the first pilot. And it's actually already standardized products that are already available in the market, and for our mobile solution we just have to customize them a little bit. So it's actually just to show that this can work.
How do you see the problem set develop over time? So I get that at the moment it's a big problem, but the energy grid should...
Sorry, I can't hear
Sorry,
you.
how do you see the problem set develop over time? So, I mean, it's a problem at the moment, but do you see this becoming a bigger problem, or will the energy grid keep up at some point?
Yeah, we see this as a problem, and it's already happening right now. So actually, with the first partner we're working with, they have a lot of service stations that already provide grid-based infrastructure, and they were super fast to welcome us to work together with them because they have this problem at some of their locations where there is an over energy demand and they cannot supply what they want to over the grid. So yes. It's already a problem today.
Yeah, and will the problem still be there in 10 years? Will it be bigger? Will it be smaller in Germany?
I think the grid operators are already working on it. So they want, of course, to adjust to this high demand. And that's why we see ourselves as a complement to the grid. So we don't want to erase them. They're not our competitors, but we can be there and we can be at locations where the grid is not ready yet.
We have time for maybe one last question, if there are any.
Are there any safety regulations you need to comply with?
Of course, many, many safety regulations because we are dealing with a lot of technical hardware. We're dealing with batteries. So, for example, here in Germany, we're very conscious that the battery at the end of their life cycle are disposed of in a well manner. So yes, of course, there are some safety regulations that we have to keep in mind.
Thank you very much, Anouk.
Thank you.
Greenbox Mobile Energy, everyone. And with that, we're down to our last two startups. Time has flown. The next technology we will be hearing about is one that I, as a chemist by background, find super, super interesting. TopoLogic is bringing forward a new material for sensors and memory with increased sensitivity, as well as power efficiency. Please welcome onto the stage, with a huge round of applause, Taiki Sato.
Hi, I'm Taiki from TopoLogic. And what we do, we engineer topological material-based devices. These are electronics and semiconductor devices that utilize the unique characteristics of topological material, which is state-of-the-art quantum physics, and we incorporate that into these small devices that go into your everyday household electronics, consumer electronics, and automotive applications and things like this. We provide engineering. We are a platform, a technology platform, and we provide, continuously new types of products based on our technology. Right now, we're focusing on two products. One is our high-speed heat sensing technology, which can sense heat faster than anything that's on the market. We're also working on a very low-energy magnetic memory device, which consumes about 1/100th of the energy required compared to conventional products. And we're also working on future products as we go along. Our first product, our heat sensors, these are very, very fast sensing sensors. They can sense heat fluctuations in milliseconds. So we can detect things like very micro short circuits in batteries, very, very fast applications that can sense heat faster than any other sensor available. We can detect heat even before a component gets hot. And we can do this at a cost where you can embed these devices into cars, into consumer electronics, without it having to be repriced. So some of the applications that we look into batteries. Rechargeable batteries tend to catch fire sometimes. They tend to overheat. Power electronics, machine components that have a very high energy density. They have a tendency to do a runaway overheat failure modes. We can detect these seconds faster than other sensors or conventional sensors, so that you can prevent, instead of trying to contain explosions of batteries. We also work with chemical companies to develop a very, very highly sensitive hydrogen sensor using their catalyst technology and our heat sensing technology. You can also use your sensors for monitoring. We detect how much heat is going through your system. Thus, you can tell whether your heat exchanger unit is working properly. You can tell whether your insulation unit needs maintenance. These are types of applications that we're looking into right now. Our magnetic memory device. This consumes 1/100th of the energy required in conventional magnetic memory. This means it's energy efficient, and it's also durable, and it's small. So we're targeting to replace this magnetic memory with conventional DRAM and SRAM because we are at that competing level in terms of energy consumption and durability. From analog ICs all the way up to communication ICs, we can exchange those DRAM and SRAM annoying chips outside and inside the chip into one memory bank that's inside of the chip. So that's our technology. We're here to network with investors. We're going through a fundraising right now. Also, we're looking for collaborative partners interested in our technology for co-development in specific applications. And so if you're interested, let's talk later. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. On to questions from the jury.
Thank you very much. Just if you can tell us more about your team. Who are you looking for right now? What kind of talent are you looking for specifically?
In terms of talent, our engineers for our heat sensors is mostly from Japanese sensor manufacturers in Japan. We also have a semiconductor team based of companies from such as Renesas. Yeah, that's a very limited talent pool in Japan, actually. So we're going to be struggling. I'm already struggling to hire some of these engineers in just Japan. So potentially we could be looking for talent in Germany or in the Netherlands, where there's multiple companies that have semiconductor production lines. Also maybe in Taiwan or US. But yeah, right now most of the production or engineering we do is domestic in Japan.
Maybe one more question. Beyond kind of batteries that are heating up, what are some of the biggest applications you see for this technology moving forward?
So one of the things that we would definitely like to try to implement is incorporating our sensors into EV batteries. You see a lot of Teslas catching fire on the news, right? And that's because thermostats or thermistors are not fast enough to detect the runaway overheating and runaway explosive and catching fire fast enough for the battery management system to shut the cell down. Our sensors can give you that critical time window because we can detect the micro short circuits way before it actually happens. So that's one application we'd definitely like to try out.
Can you please share more about the cost? Mm-hmm. So how much does it cost to manufacture, and for how much are you planning to sell it?
Okay. So the BOM cost is very low because our sensor part is only about 200 nanometers thick. It's mostly driven by R&D cost and production line cost. So it depends on the volume. If we have volume at the level of automotives, for example, several million a year, we can bring the sensor cost down to 50, 60, 70 cents per piece, which is totally acceptable in terms of incorporating it as a thermistor. It should be comparable to that level.
The question that comes to my mind is that we hear about exploding batteries all the time. What do you think is the biggest resistance to adopt solutions like this?
So we are already working with some Japanese manufacturers of battery components and also power semiconductor components with POCs. I think one of the biggest challenges is we can sense the fluctuations. The biggest difficulty we're facing right now is that the battery management systems do not take in data at 1,000 hertz, for example. They only take in data every second or every 2 seconds from each of the sensors. So we need to change the architecture of the management systems to incorporate this sort of fast sensor into the system. I think that's one of the challenges that we probably need to face, but it's something that we could challenge if we actually work with the integrators of battery cells or battery columns.
Just one last question. So are you actually working with those integrators? What kind of influence do you have on changing the architecture
So that's the unfortunate part. We are working especially with power semiconductor fabricators in Japan. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of battery cell integrators or battery integrators in Japan anymore. Panasonic's out of the game. We don't have a lot of manufacturers there. So we're looking for that partner. And the only countries that do this at a large scale is Korea, China, and Germany to some extent. So these are the markets that we're looking into, and that's why I'm here today.
Thank you very much, Taiki.
All right, thank you very much.
And with that, we're at the last startup. Our next startup is probably, well, it is the biggest challenge that we face when we talk about transitioning to a digital economy. It is the problem of the huge amounts of data that are involved and cleaning up this data, categorizing it, and so on. The last startup that's joining us here today will support you in exactly that. Please welcome onto the stage Shishan Chao from Abaca AI.
So AI has become a well-known term nowadays, but what gives it soul is still data, more carefully, high-quality data. So this is Leo from this is how do you say? Doesn't work. Yes. Sorry. Not working. Is this now the video? Yeah, it's not working. So actually, I'm Leo from Abaca AI, and we are founded in Hangzhou, same as Alibaba. So from the beginning, we are focused on the cutting-edge area like self-driving and smart healthcare, which require a lot of high-quality and labeled data. So, as we all know, data engineering costs huge resources in industrial R&D pipeline. And our mission is to empower this process, become efficient with AI. And okay. Yes, so as we know, so the pipeline is garbage out, and we provide high quality data for our needs. And so we provide data collection and annotating service for almost all the needs in the AI industry. And we have an intelligent platform for doing that, so please watch a video.
If you just say next slide, we can do it manually.
Yeah, it's there's a video. Could you maybe play it? Double click the video. Yeah, this is a video. Sorry. Okay, so if it doesn't work, actually the video is showing our intelligent platform. We providing a bunch of large model like supporting vision, image, and natural language. And thanks for this model, we are allowing the annotator to we release them from the efficient cycle by replacing manual annotation by an intelligent auto fine-tuning, because our model can detecting the object by itself. And so finally, we realized our own ecosystem, allowing our model to be influencing by the data producing workflow. So the more data we are trading, the more powerful our model will be. And so that's why we're aiming to lead this revolution in the industry of data processing. And we have already developed some collaboration with many companies, including some big names, and also many famous research institutions. So in order to discover our vision in this AI wave, please feel free to contact us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And please, questions, please.
So, I mean, there was a bit of a hiccup in the pitch. Anything that you want to tell us that you were not able to?
Sorry?
During the pitch.
During the pitch?
Yeah.
Actually, we are showing our platform how it works, and there's a comparison between the classical annotation way for labeling data for feeding the AI model and our training way, and it makes very different. Like we can boast 50 times most efficiency, like time costing. We to labeling one image or like a 3D point cloud data for automated driving, and it saves time, saves energy, because otherwise the workflow should be manually selecting the point and something like that. But we pre-treating the data, and our workforce are only need to like correcting the little error made by model, and this boosts up very much the efficiency of this process. And yeah.
What's your business model when selling to these enterprises or academic institutions? So do you have like a subscription, or how do they use your tool?
Actually, we provide several like services. If the company are concerned about the data and the model itself, our platform also supports MLOps. They can use our platform to train their own model and annotating their own data, and we can leave the hand like on this. So it's like a privatization, like a solution for that. And otherwise, we can also provide SaaS company services for the also some like workforce company too. Yeah.
Thank you. I actually visited your website previous to the pitch, and I noticed that you have some work with audio, and I was wondering if that's done in English or in Mandarin.
Actually, a lot of language, not only English, French, and also some like South Asia language. It depends on the workforce. For example, that's our strength is because we are providing a platform, and this platform can be used in anywhere, like by the people knowing which whatever language it can be. So we are providing a platform, and we improve the efficiency of this process, and it can be used in any scenarios. So.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
Yes.
Any further questions? No, doesn't seem to be the case.
Yes. Without sound. Yes. Yeah. If it's possible, we still have time. Yeah. So. It's our newest platform, and you can select the models, and this process is made by annotator, and then automatically do the segmentation or object detecting, and you just correct the small error, like to fine-tuning the result of the model. And then you will see that we're comparing classical annotation way and to the this is the object detection. We just by click, like instead of really like drawing the corner of the car, and it can automatically do the process. And comparing like manual labeling with our platform, so it's speed up. But finally, we get the result like it's far more faster, efficient than the classical labeling way, which is happening still nowadays. Yeah, and that's how. And that's the final thing is showing that we have like the ecosystem to retraining our model during our workflow of labeling data, and our model getting stronger. Yeah, that's the thing we are showing.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Please
you.
give a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
And with that, we come to an end to this very exciting startup pitch competition. As I mentioned before, it is now time for the jury to retreat for deliberations, where they will decide the winner.